Hey guys, it is me, HappyCairek, and welcome to LDoE Survival. So today I'll explain everything you need to know in order to raid. I'll try to give as many tips and tricks as possible that I know. Starting off with how to raid at all. So in order to raid, you have to reach level 150. Most of you probably already know that the best way to level up is by doing Bunker Alpha because you get lots of experience for killing zombies. Bunker Alpha has a lot of zombies there, plus you have to clear it every 2 days anyways to get lots of weapons. You can talk to the healer, you can get the double experience, and you will get to level 150 very fast with all of those tips and tricks. Once you reach level 150, you'll have to go to your radio. Over here, there'll be some sort of a button, and there you'll be able to call the raiders. It'll say something like, hey, low lives, blah, 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 blah. I don't remember what it says there, but click on that button and then raiders will spawn at your base. And people ask this question very often, so will my base get raided if I don't raid? And no, the answer is no, your base won't get raided. So don't be scared, you can still call the raiders here. As long as you don't finish all of the tasks, as long as you don't raid the base, your base won't get raided. So don't worry, call those raiders and start doing their tasks. So let me quickly explain the tasks. All the time you get different tasks here. Sometimes you'll have to clear the 3rd floor of Bunker Alpha, sometimes you'll have to clear the 2nd floor. Here you'll have to destroy 5 turrets. There's 1 turret on the 2nd floor, there's 1 turret on the 3rd floor. There are a bunch of turrets on the 4th floor, so usually I just go for the 4th floor when they ask me to destroy 5 turrets. Sometimes you need to find a C4. You can get C4s from red crates in Bunker Alpha. Sometimes you can get C4s from your season passes, then go to your inbox and they just take that C4 from the inbox. It's going to count as the Raiders task. One of the harder tasks is finding 2 engines. You can find those engines in the junkyard event. All you have to do is have your chopper at level 40. If I'm not mistaken, you can also find engines in the red oak zones, in the red stone zones, but that's pretty rare. And you can also find an engine on the highway. All you have to do is just go to the gas station. Some people can't get the highway, so in order to unlock that highway, you have to complete some of these acts, some of those tasks, and then that highway will unlock. Just keep progressing through the story and you will see when you unlock that highway, as you will have to go there in order to progress further through the story. So now let's actually go for the raid and let me give you tips and tricks on how to raid bases. Once you're done doing all of these tasks, you have to click the complete button. Click on that button, the raiders will disappear from your base, and once you're done raiding that base, then you'll have to pay them. But again, we're going to talk about that payment later. And there's one more thing that I haven't mentioned is the walls. So when you raid, you will get a revenge raid, but we'll talk about those revenge raids a little bit later. But all you need to know is that raiders cannot destroy level 4 walls, aka metal walls. So these walls over here, obviously upgrade them to level 5. They also won't be able to destroy those walls at level 5. But upgrading your walls to level 5 is absolutely pointless, so do not upgrade your walls to level 5. At least not yet at the moment of recording this video. And some more tips and tricks on how to defend your base and how to build it. Start building a 3x3 metal room. Place 9 racks inside of that metal room and you should be able to store lots of loot there. If you cannot build metal walls, just try to build a few layers of level 3 walls, then build a bunch of level 1 and level 2 walls around your base. Just know that zombie hordes will keep destroying your level 1 and level 2 walls, but those level 1 and level 2 walls can still protect you from raids. And I can't believe that I haven't mentioned this, but you are not getting raided by real players. You're getting raided here by a bot, by an AI. And we are also not raiding real players here. We are raiding bots, we are raiding AI bases. And by the way, you can also hide some of the loot inside of Bunker Alpha on top of that 1st floor inside of those lockers. Raiders cannot access those lockers, at least at the moment of recording this video. And it's been like that for like, what, 5-6 years? So who knows, maybe in the next 5 years they'll change something, but I doubt that. And check this out, we have gotten a revenge raid. So this is going to be the same revenge raid and the same base that we are raiding. It's very rare, but sometimes it happens. You'll get both of the same bases on the map. And here's another tip and trick that you should know. In order to raid properly, you can research this base on YouTube. So just type LDoE raid JTD88, or if you're raiding another base, let's say you're raiding player 1234, then go on YouTube and type LDoE raid player 1234. And most of the time somebody has already raided that base, so you'll be able to watch someone else's video on how they raided that base, and then you can see how to raid it yourself. You'll be able to save your C4s, you'll be able to save your hatchets, and you'll be able to prepare accordingly for that raid. I usually take 5 level 1 hatchets, I take 5 level 2 hatchets. That way I don't have to think a lot, I just take them and that's it. I also bring 1 C4. Here's what else you need to know about raids. Everything you do in raids makes noise, and every time you reach a certain amount of noise, a wave of zombies will spawn. So that's why it's advised to bring silenced weapons. I usually love taking here silenced Glocks. So every time you get a silenced weapon from Bunker Alpha, try to save it. If you get a silenced weapon from somewhere else, try to save it for those raids. Don't use it, especially if you don't have the silence mod blueprint yet. You can also use melee weapons during raids. It's also a very viable strategy. You can try to wall trick them. And here comes a very tricky part. Be very careful. If you die once during a raid, you will still be able to come back to this raid. But here's a catch. If I leave now this base right now, if I just go on the global map and then I come back into this base and I die, then the base will despawn. So don't leave the base. You don't even have to go on the global map and go to your base. Just if you go on the global map, then you click enter back in this base and then you die, this base will despawn. So if you've never raided before, I would just advise you to not die. Otherwise, this base will despawn. So we're gonna place here a C4. Let's open up here this level 3 wall. So obviously you probably already know that, but in order to open up stone walls, you're required to have a C4. In order to open up level 2 walls, you're required to have iron hatchets, and level 1 walls require obviously stone hatchets. You can open up chests with level 1 and level 2 hatchets. So as you can see, when we fight here these floater bloaters, we don't make any noise. But if I was using here unsilenced weapons, I would be making a little bit of noise. I think some people overestimate how much noise you make with unsilenced weapons. Obviously, you should be bringing here silenced weapons. But if you want to use here an unsilenced Glock, that's still kind of a viable option, as you're not going to make that much noise. It's not like you will absolutely ruin the raid, but still, it's better to bring silenced weapons. So inside of the first chest here, we have gotten a little bit of armor. We have gotten some healing items. So let's take that. Sadly, I didn't get here any shoes. Well, maybe one of these chests will have some boots. Then I'll be able to bring those boots. And check this out. Every time we open up a chest, we make more noise. Now we are at 30 noise. Here we have gotten some ATV wheels. And I think after we open up this chest, another wave of zombies might spawn. There we go. We are at 38 noise. And another wave. Well, I was absolutely mistaken. They're not here yet. Let's open up another chest here inside of the red chest. We have gotten some guns. 1, 2, 3, 4 guns. Plus, we've gotten a bunch of broken guns. We've gotten another level 1 hatchet. And there we go. There's another wave of these zombies. So let's quickly deal with them. And there we go. We are done with that second wave. There's nothing else that I want to bring back to my base. Obviously, when you are raiding bases, you are the judge of what you want to bring, what you don't want to bring. I don't think I need to explain that. So just raid bases, take whatever you want. And as I said, don't feel bad because these are just bots. We are not raiding real players. So don't feel bad about anything. Just raid those bases, take what you want, and that's it. Let's get here an electronic circuit. We've gotten a red ticket. You know what? Let's take maybe some more tickets. Let's open up here one more chest. And at around 70 something noise, maybe 77, 76 noise, another wave of zombies will spawn here again. Let's open up another chest. And there we go. Another wave of zombies is still not here. But soon they will spawn. Let's open up one more chest. And there we go. We're at 77 noise. So let's take some of these items here. Another wave of zombies will spawn. And if you have a chopper, let me show you here one trick. But as I said, be very careful. Do not leave this base. Otherwise, everything will despawn. So my goal now is to kill all of these toxic bombs. But one, I want to keep one toxic abomination. There we go. One toxic bomb is here. I'll maybe run over there, so I'll just wait until this guy just kills me. Wait. No. Almost made a mistake. We gotta go back to the chopper. You have to fill up the chopper. Check this out. Let's just drop here some guns, some tickets, and whatever else we have here. Now, I'm gonna leave this chopper. I'll go somewhere here and I'll die here. So now I'll be able to die, I'll be able to spawn back at the base, and I'll be able to bring some more loot. As I said, be very careful, it works only once during a raid. We have spawned back at the base, now I can take all of these items here. We have 8 extra slots in that chopper, so that's why we can bring more loot back to the base. Once you're done sorting out your base, hop back on your empty chopper, and that base should still be on the global map, unless you have done something wrong. But hey, check this out, this base is still here. But now, if I die again, it won't work. It works only once, so be very careful. If you died in that base and the base despawned, that means you've done something wrong. There you go, we have spawned back at the base, but now there will be this toxic abomination. So I want to run back to my body. I want to equip the armor very quick. And let's get that Glock and let's deal with this toxic abomination. Boom. That is it. Now we are safe. Let's get here the rest of the loot and let's continue looting this base because we still have a few more chests to open up. There we go. Let's open this chest here and then we have a few more chests outside. So this was one of the more simple bases to raid. It was very basic, just a simple 3x3. Plus there were some chests here without any walls. Some raids are a bit more difficult, so that's why you should be doing research on them. Okay, so sadly this chest didn't have any more boots. Well, I'll open up a few more chests here then. And here's another tip and trick. So with these level 2 hatchets, you can do 2 hits to these chests, so you can kind of soften up those chests. If you have level 1 hatchets, you have to do 3 hits to those chests to soften them up. But for this trick, I like using level 2 hatchets. So let's soften up some of these chests, and then the big one will spawn at 100 noise. The big one spawns, and you cannot kill the big one on raids. Even if there are spike traps, you won't be able to kill it. As when the big one reaches like 300 or 400 health, it'll just heal up back to 100. So don't even bother killing that dude. But hey, let's open up one chest. We're still at 95 noise. So now all of these chests are softened up. We can open them up kind of quickly. We have gotten some thick cloth. I will get that. There we go. The big one is here. Be careful. Okay, that's a lot of food here. Let's see what else we can get inside of this chest. Heal up! Okay. We might actually even die here. Heal! Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. We are at 70 noise. We are at 70 health, not noise. Okay, let's heal up again. That chest is there. And that is it. I'm kind of panicking right now because I almost died there. But we have gotten at least a little bit of food. I have only 11 first aid kits, and I don't think it's worth it to waste them to open up those other chests. You can also shoot the blind one with the leg shot if you have it to slow it down, and then you can open up even more chests. And every hit, the big one keeps doing more and more damage. I think it will go something like 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, and so on and so on. The big one does 2 more damage each hit. And check this out. Once we are done raiding this base, our threat has gone up. It was only at 1 day and 5 hours. Now it's at 2 days and 5 hours. So every time you do a raid, you get plus 24 hours of threat, but your base can be raided only once every 24 hours or something like that, and that's not even guaranteed that your base will be raided. Let's say now it's 3 p.m. If I go offline and log in back at like 3 p.m. at 4 p.m., chances are this base will be raided. If it's not raided, sometimes it helps traveling around the map. Like you can go to Bunker Bravo, you can come back, you can use up a little bit of energy, and sometimes that will trigger a revenge raid. But some days you just won't get a revenge raid, so don't worry about it. But it's always nice to get a revenge raid because it's kind of a free raid, especially if raiders don't steal anything from your base. Usually when your base is fully protected, when raiders can't steal anything, you won't be able to get a revenge raid. Like your base will get raided. You'll get a notification saying that, hey, your base was attacked, but they didn't leave any footsteps because they didn't steal anything. In order for them to leave footsteps, you have to leave some stuff inside of either this old pickup truck, or you can place some bait chests outside so that those raiders can steal something. And now let's talk about the payment. So you'll have to pay them here. Remember our deal. Give me my share. Don't ruin your reputation and we'll show you good bases, which is kind of a lie. Most of the time they never show you good bases. But hey, you can pay them with fully modded spears. So when I give them this stack of wood, they're not happy with it. But if we craft here a spear, so I have already modded the spear, and once you mod those spears, you will craft them already with mods. So check this out. We have 1 spear, and most of the time it's just enough to give them 1 spear. Sometimes if you get a really, really nice raid with like bunch of steel, sometimes you'll have to give them 2 or 3 spears, and just give them whatever loot you have here at the base. You can give them electronic circuits. Just don't give them anything valuable that you need. Just give them whatever garbage that you don't mind giving them. Everyone will have different amounts of loot and different loot in their bases. So only you can decide what you can give them, because somebody, let's say, will have a bunch of these aluminum bars. And as you can see, stack of aluminum bars makes them happy, but maybe we can just give them 2 aluminum bars. There we go. 2 aluminum bars is already enough. You can just give them 1 aluminum bar. That is gonna be plenty. Maybe you don't have any aluminum bars, then try to give them something else. Maybe these heat sensors will make them happy. And there we go. These heat sensors make them happy. Maybe these turret parts. Stack of turret parts makes them happy. How about 2 turret parts? That's enough. And 1 turret part makes them happy as well. But hey, every raid will be kind of different. Sometimes you'll need to give them different amounts of items. But just experiment. Give them things that you don't need. And that is it. In this case, I'm gonna give them this spear. I'll share that. And that is it. They leave. And as I said, in order to raid again, you'll have to go and call them on the radio. And there we go. There's this button. Hey, lowlifes, who wants to attack others' bases for a loot share? There we go. Just click that. Call them, and boom, they'll spawn at your base, do the tasks, and rinse and repeat. And there we go, they have spawned here again, and as you can see, we have here different tasks this time, and you always get somewhat different tasks. And now, let me quickly explain more things about revenge raids. So it might be a little bit confusing that we have here kind of the same base, and how do I even have this revenge raid here? So when I logged into the game this morning, I was raided. I got a notification that, hey, the base was raided, and boom, that's what we've got in this revenge raid. So 99% of the time, your revenge raids and your raids will be different from one another. You won't get the same bases. It might be a little bit confusing that we got like the same revenge raid that we've just kind of raided, but that's not how it works. You will get a different revenge raid. You can still research those revenge raids, but what's important to know is that during revenge raids, you can get back the loot that raiders have stolen from you. So let's say raiders have stolen 5 guns from you. In one of these chests, so either in one of these chests or in one of those chests, you can find your guns that were stolen or whatever else they have stolen from you. So whatever they steal from you, your loot is in this revenge raid. Except sometimes you won't get lucky because your loot spawns in one of those random chests. Sometimes your loot is distributed into a bunch of other chests. So you won't be able to research that stuff on YouTube. And sometimes bases are really big. Sometimes there are like 20, 30, or maybe sometimes even 40 chests and you won't be able to open all of them up. So sometimes you just won't be able to retrieve your loot. So that's why you need to build a proper base. That's why you need to build lots of level 3 and level 2 walls if you don't have steel walls. That's why you need to hide some of your loot in Bunker Alpha because you do not want to lose any loot, as it's not guaranteed that you'll be able to take it back. So, okay, so last time I wasn't able to open up this chest, and here we have gotten a bunch of spike traps. And also last time I couldn't open up this chest here. So what do we have here? And nothing. And hey, let's get here some more food from this chest over here. And there we go, we have gotten the best loot from this base. So hey, don't be scared to call those raiders on the radio. As I said, your base won't get raided. Start doing these tasks, because some of those tasks might take maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe a month to complete. Who knows? So hey, just call them, start doing the tasks, and once you have a proper base, then you'll be able to raid. And hey, those were all tips and tricks that I know about raids. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments down below. And I highly suggest you check out my last Unearthed free-to-play Let's Player. Click on the second card and you'll get my Resident Evil 4 Let's Player. Hop over to my channel, go to playlist, and there you'll find a lot of other games that I played here on the channel. If you're not subscribed yet, definitely make sure to jump subscribe button and notification bell to not miss any future videos. And consider following me on Instagram or Twitter at HappyCairek. Yup.